Damn. Toppin is showtime. It's box office. In the open court, watching him dunk. I get it. But how many forwards can you have if you're the New York Knicks? How many forwards can you have? I needed a guard. Halliburton is 7-foot wingspan. About 6'6", 6'7", can shoot, can handle, can defend. IQ.
Me going from 6'2" my junior year to 6'5", me being able to dunk my senior year, it was definitely something I had to get used to.
I believe in World Wide West. I believe in Leon Rose. I'm going to calm down.
Dunking the ball for anybody, it just brings a different...
But my initial reaction, to be honest, is damn.
How do you feel about the Knicks selecting Obi with the 8th pick?
Well, I'll confess that listen. I like Obi. The brother's a Skywalker. He averaged 20 a game in college. His last season in college, in the 2 years that he was there, it was like 14 and then 20. Last year, on nearly 70% shooting, nearly 40% shoot from three-point range. The brother's got game. I like him. I don't think it was a bad pick. My issue with the New York Knicks is that it's a guard-oriented game. You need to elevate your level of guard play. Knowing Tom Thibodeau the way that we should know him by now, guard play is essential to anything that he wants to do. And you had that kid Tyrese Haliburton there. Now, if you're the New York Knicks, here's the argument that you've made to me within the last 24 hours. Stephen A., watch what we're doing. Obi Toppin was arguably the best talent in the draft. We didn't expect him to fall to number 8. You remember, he was projected to be picked in the top 5. But he got picked at number 8. Number 2, this brother, they think, got a better outside shot than Halliburton. He's clearly more athletic. Number 3, they're looking at Julius Randle. This is the last year of his deal. Even though he got a deal after that, it's not fully guaranteed. It's only partially guaranteed to my understanding. All right, Bobby Porter's got a player option. You traded Marcus Morris in that 3-team deal, and you got a first-round pick because of it. So their mentality is that this dude has the potential, a Brooklyn native, Brooklyn born and bred. This Brooklyn native who's a Skywalker, who could be box office, we now have at the Garden. My issue with the New York Knicks is I respect that. I understand it. My problem is, my only problem, has nothing to do, I hope he's watching, nothing against Obi Toppin whatsoever. I know the kid's got promise, potential, he can play. I got love for him. My issue is that with the New York Knicks, you really, really needed guard play. And Halliburton, according to all the aficionados, was that guard. It's not about the player himself, his skill set. I just didn't think that was what they needed more than they needed a guard. I hope I'm wrong.
I think it was a natural pick for the Knicks. I agree about Halliburton. Like, in a draft where I'm not sure about anybody, Halliburton was the safest pick. He's going to be a nice player, at least, if not a very, very good one. So maybe part of the Knicks' problems is they don't just take the guy that absolutely will be pretty good, you know, like maybe, and so they constantly are trying to hit a home run. Maybe, who knows? But although Frank Ntilikina is not exactly swinging for the fences. If their rationale is we're trying to replace Julius Randle or Bobby Portis potentially, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. You want to replace Julius Randle? They gave $20 million a year to do what? The Knicks don't win any games. Julius Randle's okay. He's fine. Like, not a $20 million a year player, and you're looking at, so that, no. If that's the rationale, they should just not say that out loud because people will laugh at them. If, however, their rationale is, look, this dude was the best player in college. He's excellent. He has star potential. He's from the area. What can't he do at the 4 spot, especially, right? At least offensively. We believe he can develop defensively. And at 8, when you have a chance to take a talent like that, do it. He has real star potential. I agree. Most people who don't like Toppin point to the fact that he's 22 years old. And we've seen this before where a guy looks amazing in college, especially nowadays when you don't have a lot of 22-year-olds playing. the top draft is 18, 19, 20 years old. He has a couple more years to develop. So maybe his ceiling isn't what you would really project because he's already closer to it than some of the other guys. But that aside, if you're not worried about the age so much, you think he's still going to get better, it's a natural pick for the Knicks. He was probably the best available talent. As you said, Stephen A., even several spots higher, he might have been the best available talent. I think it's a good pick for him.
You know what? I can't believe both of you guys, Stephen A., you and Max, fellow New Yorkers, and y'all complaining. This is the best thing that the New York Knicks have done in the last 10 years by drafting Obi Toppin. This kid is electrifying. He's box office. He reminds me a lot of Blake Griffin when he was coming out. He's going to fill up seats. He's must-see TV. The kid averaged, the young man, I ain't even gonna call him a kid. The young man averaged, he led the college with 107 dunks last year. And I'm not talking about Kendrick Perkins type dunks, little one-hand, two-hand flushes. I'm talking about between the legs, windmilling and all. And he could stretch the floor. Look, he's ferocious. He's ready. And Max, you're talking about a ceiling. Look, nothing gets you ready like being in the NBA. I was a guy that came straight out of high school, and being in the NBA, sitting on the bench for 2 years, my first 2 years, is what got me ready because I saw a lot of rookies that went to college for 4 years that came into the NBA that was 22, 23 years old, and they still wasn't ready. They still had a lot to learn. He's going to learn a lot, and especially under Coach Tom Thibodeau. So look, the New York fans, y'all have something to be proud about, be happy about. You could get the popcorn popping again back in Madison Square Garden. And I tell you one thing, if the Knicks could pull off and trade for Russell Westbrook, you might as well add the butter to the popcorn. But I'm all in for the Obi Toppin with the New York Knicks. I think they hit a home run with that pick. He was the best available player at the time, and they had to grab him. I know you wanted a guard, Stephen A. I know you wanted a guard because you was a guard in high school shooting that broke jumper. I get it. Obi Toppin was a home run for the New York Knicks, period.
Yeah, KP, I'm not going to disagree with you because clearly you've seen him more than I have, and I'll give you that. And I know he was a skywalker, and I know about the dunks. I get all of that. I've seen enough highlights of him, and I saw at least one Dayton game this year. But I will tell you this. Here's my thing. You got to remember, I'm not questioning his talent by any stretch of the imagination. I want to reiterate that. I'm thinking about fit, too. I'm thinking about who's he being coached by. And I'm thinking about what personnel they have along with him. If you had a guard, and in fairness to the New York Knicks, it wasn't like they didn't go and acquire a guard late in the first round, and then I think again in the second round. All I'm trying to say is that's my question mark. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.